Okay, for my contact lenses, I'll be using this LVH Beauty Altitude lens. It's a Nigerian brand based in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I was sent this contact lens some days back, so I'll be trying this. This one is in Cali Brown. Okay, I just opened the contact lens and it comes this way and comes with a pizza as well. So I'll be using this to pick out the contact lens from its case. Just like down, down, straight, down, down, just being, just, yeah. Fixing the little eyes. So why I don't like to touch my contact lens with my hands, it's because a bit hot on the eyes. If you have any dirt on your hands, it's not good to have it in contact with somebody's eyes. So I rather use the picker for it. This way, down, this way, down. So, alright, the next thing I'm doing is I'm using my spoolie brush. This brush is from Bosch Cosmetics. So it's a Nigerian brand based in Lagos. So I'm just brushing her brows up. If you notice she has small like ingrown hairs around here, I won't be doing too much because they already took a lot of her hairs from the brows just to clean the brow bones. And I'll be using this blade. Close your eyes, please. So the reason why I tell them to close their eyes is because I don't want my client or my model blink their eyes and I'll just shake and it will hurt them. So you rather tell them to close their eyes. So clean is the top part of the brows. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, to clean out excess oil from my face, I'm using these face wipes I got. You can get any brand as long as it can clean oil and dirt from the face and nice for makeup. So I'm just cleaning her face. Look up, sorry, please. Look up. Okay, the next step is I'm on my skin prep now, and the next thing I'm using is this micellar water from Blossom Cosmetics. It's a Nigerian brand, and you can check them on Instagram. It's their vitamin C micellar cleansing water, and I'm using a cotton pad. So I like this micellar water because of the packaging, the fact that you don't have to waste too much. You see, you just press it. So cleaning cleaning everywhere. This cleanser, it looks as if it's soapy, so I kind of like it. Look up, sorry. Okay, the next step is I'm using this Juba Cosmetics makeup setting spray. It's a Nigerian brand. It's an hydrating spray. So I just want to hydrate her skin after cleaning. Close your eyes. So I'll just spray this on my face. So if you don't want to wait, give me beauty sponge, please. If you don't want to wait for the face to dry, you can go ahead with your soft beauty blender. This is from Alabama. It's a Nigerian brand also. So I'll just push it into her skin. If you know you can't have access to this beauty sponge, you can get any one of your choice, but it should be very soft. This one is damp already, so I'll just push it into her skin. Okay, the next step, I'm using my serum. This is the premium Koju serum. I think it's a China product, not a Nigerian brand. So this flat brush is from MK Beauty. Look up, sorry. So I'll just apply it directly under the eyes. Why I'm doing this because I want my skin to be hydrated. So applying my serum first. So please make sure you apply it under the eyes. And around the face. Okay, the next step, I'm using this CoRS serum. Okay, you will ask and you're wondering why I'm using two serums and so. It's because I don't want my makeup looking cakey. Yes. You cannot get enough of hydrated skin. So you need enough serum because makeup is already dry and you don't want when you finish the whole face is looking masked. So that's why I use moisturizer, a lot of moisturizers, I use a lot of serums and all. But if you can't buy two, you can still use one. It's totally fine. Just use enough. Then you blend it into the skin. Okay, the third step in my skin prep is the Embryolist moisturizer. My God, I love this moisturizer so much. I've used it for years and I don't think I want to change it for anything. So I'm taking a bit. It's a cream moisturizer. So it comes in this form. I think they recently changed the package. This wasn't how it was before. So they changed so you can see this one or the old pack. So they rebranded it. So I'm putting this on my T-zones, under the eyes, on the forehead, and I just blend. So work it into the skin. I'm sorry. So the way I layered my skin prep, I don't wait for anyone to dry. Just go ahead. Then I allow everything to dry, except for my hydrating spray. So I'm just blending. Okay, so the next step, I'm using this milk primer. It's not a Nigerian brand, it's Hydro Grip. So I'll be applying it on her T-zones. Sorry, let me apply it on my brush. The pump is bad. So anything that has to do with primer, I don't apply it under the eyes. It doesn't go this way. So just on the forehead. Just here. Please don't, it will make your under eyes dry. So don't apply it under the eyes. So the next step is my Meron Skin Prep. This is a toner, a sweat stop and a primer. But for this case, I'm using it as a sweat stop because I'll still be doing my mattifying primer and all. So I'll be pouring a little on my mixing pan, just a bit of it, not so much. Please, thank you, just a little. Then I'll go with my skin prep brush. Then apply on the T-zones of the face. Areas I know that they will likely sweat and get oily easily. So the next step is I'm using my Motec #1 primer. It's a sweat and a sweat block primer. So me, I feel it's a soft primer, not a mattifying one. It's a Nigerian brand. You can also check them on Instagram. So I'm just taking a bit of it on my brush and apply on the T-zones as well. This is one of my favorite primers. Motec, they're very, very nice. You touch her face is already looking sticky. This will hold your makeup very well. Okay, finally, I'm using the Gentle Dove mattifying primer. This is a mattifying primer. I don't use my brush for this one, so I just go with my hands. Just very little of it. I'll just scoop a bit of it on my hands. And I'll just warm it up a bit, then apply it on the brows, so my brows doesn't get oily. So the reason why I don't use my brush for this is because I don't want the product to get stuck on the brush. So I want to just blend evenly on the skin. So I'll just go to some areas like around the nose. Blend smoothly. Okay, so finally, I'm using my Blossom Hydrating Spray. So you can actually use the Juba spray as your finishing spray for your skin prep, or you use this. It's all fine. So I'll be using this. Close your eyes. So this is a Nigerian brand as well. Then I'll go with my beauty sponge, or you can use a fan. I'll just push everything into her skin. This way. Just dab, 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 dab. Yeah. Okay, for my foundation, I'm using this NARS foundation in Mocha, and I'm using L'Oreal foundation in N8. Okay, the reason is because I like my foundation not too thick and not too watery. L'Oreal is water-based, while NARS is mattifying. Not really mattifying. I kind of like the consistency of NARS foundation, but I'll be mixing both of them. So this is the mixing pan. Doing like 2 to 3 pumps of NARS foundation on my pan. And I'll be going with my L'Oreal foundation. Remember, L'Oreal is a bit watery, so be careful. Not so much as well. So please, give me something to mix evenly. So I'm just mixing both now. So I'm going with my damp beauty blender. Very dry. So I'm just starting, this is my starting point. I don't like starting my foundation from this part, so I'll just build it up. So what I do is that I don't apply foundation directly under the eyes. So I'll skip this part and I'll come back to it. So I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So I'm just blending and blending. Please, when you're blending, take your time. So what I have left on my beauty sponge, without applying foundation, I'll just look at her, blend under the eyes. So I'm extending it downward. Okay, to further contour her face and warm up her face, I'm using this V Beauty foundation in Ethiopia. It's a Nigerian brand. So I'm just taking a bit of it on my mixing pan. Just a bit. I'll get a beauty sponge wet. This is another one because I don't want the other one to be dark. So I'll just use it to blend out the hairlines. So I'll take it further into her face a bit. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. See how seamlessly this is. You just blend and blend. You're trying to blend to avoid harsh lines. So please blend. Okay, for my cream blush, I'm using this Girls Corner lipstick palette. So it can serve as a cream blush and a lipstick palette. So it's a Nigerian brand as well. So I'll be mixing a bit of this and a bit of this. Just a little of the red and more of the peach onto my mixing pan. See? Then I will use the same beauty sponge I used earlier for my contour. Just take a bit of it. Please don't go direct into it. Take a bit, take out the excess, and you apply on the face. So I rather build up my blush than just use too much. So if you feel it's not enough, you can go further. So it's better you start bit by bit than using too much. So I'm taking a bit of it again. So blend the approach a bit. So this helps to warm up my face. also the forehead a bit, and the nose. So I'm just blending now, just blending. Okay, further to conceal under the eyes, I'm using the Nuban concealer in my skin in 41. It's a Nigerian brand, and I'm going with my Kevin concealer. This is not a Nigerian brand. This is one of my favorite concealer. I've used it for like 2 to 3 years now. This is full coverage. It's a creamy concealer. It's creamy, so you just need a little, and the coverage is just wow. So I'll be doing, this shade is 08 and this is 12. A bit of 12 has like a yellow undertone, while this is light. So I'm using my 41, my Nuba 41, and I'll dip it into the 12 a bit, the 8. I don't apply my concealer directly under the eyes. I take it down a bit below, because I don't want it to cake there before I start blending. Then I'll take a bit again. Please don't apply pressure when you're doing this. Before you blend and you have one mark under the eyes, just softly light on the bridge of the nose. Then on the outer corner of the eyes, I'll be using the 12 with the same applicator. That's the Nuban concealer. I'm sorry. Then I'll go with my first beauty sponge I used earlier, which is the one I used to apply my foundation to blend. Okay, I'll start blending from the darker shade. The reason is because I don't want the lighter shade to overpower the darker one. So I'll blend that one first before I go into the lighter shade. I'll blend this one now. So I'll go ahead to blend everything. So when I'm blending, I'm not dragging, I'm just dabbing into the skin, dabbing into the skin. I'm blending the bridge of our nose. That's okay. So I'm blending from the darker shade, like I stated earlier. And I'll blend into the blood, the contour that I did with them. Then I'll go ahead to blend the lighter shade. So now I'm building it towards the eye. Just gently blending. Onto the corners of the eyes. And I'm doing the same thing too. So you blend. So please and please, I know a lot of people do that mistake. When you want to blend downward. Don't blend and get stuck on this place. It looks very funny and masky. So blend on top of the blush, please. Stand here. Okay, to set under the eyes, I'm using my Huda Beauty setting powder. My God, you guys need to get this beauty setting powder. It is the real deal. It is smooth. It doesn't look cakey under the eyes. You don't need too much, and you're good to go. So I'm using, this is banana bread. This is quite new, so that's why the name is still there. And this is old. So this is Blondie. Blondie has like a banana undertone. Sorry, please help me open this. Blondie has a banana undertone, while banana bread is a bit translucent but not translucent. So I'll be using both of them. Look up, sorry. With the same beauty sponge I used to conceal. Look up, listening. I'll just blend again because she has looked up and down, and I don't want any lines under the eyes. So please blend if you know that your client has moved their eyes. Then I'm going with this, with the beauty sponge. I will start with the banana bread on the inner corners of the eyes, then I'll push it into the skin. Then I'll do the same thing too on the other eyes. Make sure everywhere is dry, because if you don't set properly and it's still wet, it will break. Then I'll go in with my Blondie on the outer corners. You can actually use one setting powder if you don't have these two shades. You can use one, please. I just like to build colors, or should I say coverage. And I'll go ahead again with my banana bread. And I'm applying on the T-zones everywhere you know the conceal. Okay, to powder the face, I'm using this Silver Mark powder palette with a Nigerian brand. I kind of like this powder palette because it's very, very smooth. So I'll be using this shade in Deep Toffee Crisps. Then I'll be mixing with a bit of purple. And I'll just push it into her skin. So the brush I'm using is from Shaded Beauty. So you can check them on Instagram. I've forgotten where they are. I think they're in Lagos. Yeah, I think they're in Lagos, yes. So I'm just pushing into her skin, setting the foundation. This way. So if you notice, I'm not getting to my highlighted part, just below. Sorry, chin up. Chin down. The hairlines, just around the face. Okay, to contour the face, I'm using this Fenty Beauty powder in 460. It has this red undertone. If you don't have this, you can use any shade, anything of this shade in your powder palette. So I'm using this MK brush. MK Beauty is a Nigerian brand as well, but this is not a Nigerian brand. Everybody knows. So I'm just blending around the hairlines. Just to warm up her face, to give the face definition. So sorry. Around the jawlines. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. With the same contour powder, I'm using another brush. It's a smaller brush from NK. So to contour the nose area. So I'm starting from the brows. And I blend downward. So please don't drag. If you drag, you will have one straight line on the nose. I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. For my powder blush, I'm using the Cindy's Beauty line, the Nigerian brand, 6 blush palette. So I'm using this peach, or should I say pink color. So on the apple of the cheek. So the same brush I used to contour, that's the brush I'm using. So then I'll do this tip of the nose. I just blend it on the face, not too much. So after applying my blush, I use the same brush to just take out a little bit of the setting powder on the face, not too much. Then I go in with my Morphe spray. This is a jumbo mist spray. This will ask please to set the skin. Then I go with my palm. Okay. So the reason why I did this, I want everything to settle into the skin before I continue. Okay, with the same setting powder I use, which is the banana bread, Huda Beauty banana bread, I'm going with this finger holder. Then I'll apply my setting powder again. Yes, this is where I do my own. So if you don't like this step, you can actually do your style. Look up, sorry. Then I'll just press it under the eyes. Press it in. Then I'll do the same thing as well. Take out the essence. Just press it. And I'll do the same thing with the T-zones. Okay, for my reverse contour, I'm using my Milani powder, mineralized powder. So this shade is in medium OA, and my finger holder. Then I'll just use the tip of it, brush a bit on it this way. So this is called reverse contour. So it will make your contour even more stronger and well defined. Do the same thing on the other side. Big painting on the bridge of the nose. So just to fade out the contour lines. Okay, recently I realized that most times when I'm done with my eyes and I want to do the gel liner, the model tends to tear up, or clients. Most times they don't, but if they do, if it's a matte eyeshadow, it will spoil the eyeshadow. So I realized that doing my gel liner under the eyes first saves me the stress. This Polar Beauty waterproof gel liner in black, it's a Nigerian brand. You can check them on Instagram. Look up, sorry. So I'm just outlining her waterlines now first. Sorry. So when I do this, I will allow them relax a bit. So I'll go ahead again. eye. Then I'll do the same thing on the other eyes. So this brush is from Bosch Cosmetics. This is the eyeliner brush. So I think we succeeded in doing this. Okay, for the eyeshadow I'll be creating, I want to do this green, black smoky with green pigments. So for my base, I'll be starting with the same Polar Beauty gel liner I used earlier, and this NK brush. It's a smudge brush. So I'll just take a bit of it with the down part of it. Look at the flow. So just apply on the eyelid. Then I'll clean out the excess I have to my wipes. So look at the flow. Then I'll blend with the smudge brush. So please, when you're blending, be very careful. You don't want to blend into the transition areas. Just blend on the eyelid. So I'll do the same thing here as well. Okay, for my eyeshadow, I'm using this Morphe. That's clean, sorry, but this is 35M. The series is 35M. It has this. It comes this way. So I'll be using this dark green as my base. That's for the eyelid. Sorry, look at the flow. So I'll just press it into the liner with this. That's the base of it. This brush I'm using is from Bosch Cosmetics. I kind of like their brush. It's very fluffy and nice. So just blend it into the skin, the eyelid I mean. Just that part. So I'll do the same thing to this side. Look at the flow. Okay, for my transition color, I'm using this Juvia's Place. It's a bronze palette. It's called the bronze in deep dark, and it comes this way. I kind of like the color because it's soft brown, not so harsh, and easy to blend. So I'll be mixing this two shades with the same Bosch Cosmetics brush, but this is another one. their fluffy brush sets, their eye brush. And I'll be lifting the eye a bit, just blend where I have harsh lines. So blending. So you don't want to see harsh lines, so please when you're blending, blend softly. So I'm doing the same thing on the other eye as well. So I'm lifting. So if you notice that I'm blending, I'm not moving to the eyebrow area. That's the brow bone. Okay, to further create more depth on the eyes, I'm using my Morphe palette in James Charles. So I'll be using this black color here. This one, thank you. And the smaller brush, look at that. Now just applying it on the outer corner of the eyes. So I'll do the same thing there. Cut the floor, please. So this helps to blend in where the green and the black will meet before it gets to the brown we used earlier. So you don't get harsh lines in between. So you don't have to see the brown and the green separately. Now I'm going back with the same Juvia's Place I used earlier to blend. Whenever I do any color, I always go back with my transition color to blend. Okay, to give the face a facelift, I'm using the Color Beauty gel liner I used earlier, the eyeliner brush. So I'll just take a little bit. Look up, so then I'll connect. Close the eyes, sorry. I'll connect under the eyes, then I'll take it forward. As if I'm creating a wing liner. And I'll blend it upward. into the eyeshadow. So don't worry, we're still going to blend here, so it's fine. You take it inside. Outside. Look off. Use the Morphe palette. Then I'll go in with my Morphe palette now. I'll get the dark with the same smaller brush. Sorry, good. Up and flop this. And I'll blend it. So this is how I create these eyes. Then I'll go back with the trigger stick again to blend. I'm doing the same thing on this other eye. It's gonna be done like this. What's eye space? So don't worry, even if your line is not straight, you're still gonna conceal it. Because I'm wanting to explain things. So don't blend them. Don't blend more. And I'll get my blend first. Take a bit of the black from the Morphe palette. My bigger step palette again to blend. Okay, to further define the eyes, I want to lift up the face. I'll be using my Pigments concealer I used earlier in 08, and my flat Younger Beauty flat brush is an angle brush, and it's a Nigerian brand from Younger Beauty. So I'll just be collecting a bit of my concealer on the hand, put a bit there. Sorry, can you move forward a bit? Then I'll press the mouth of my brush like this, take a bit of it. Close your eyes. And I blend it downward. This just helps to define the eyes. Please don't use too much, just a bit of it. Then I'll do the same thing on the other eyes. Sorry, sit up again. So I'm just checking if both eyes are the same. They are outlined very well. So give me my Fenty powder, please. So I'm going with my Fenty powder. This is in 310. Sorry, this is 310. So I'll be blending this area. So now I'll be doing the same thing here. So if you don't have Fenty, you can use your powder palette or just go direct with your setting powder. So I'm just blending downward. Okay. So onto the brows now. The first thing I do is I use my Bromatic by Derma Brow Tamer. It's a tint and a tame. It comes in this shade and it's spoolie. Any brush, any small spoolie that has this shape, I'll just take a piece of it to my brush and brush the brows upward first. Just naturally the way the brows will go, I'll just follow the hairs that way. So I'm just brushing upward like this. Then I'll do the same thing this way. Okay, for my brows, what I do is that I don't use pencil. I use my black gel liner to outline my brows first before I do my brow gel, which is the brown one. So I'm starting with the Paula Beauty Black Waterproof Gel Liner and a flat, is it a concealer brush, I'll call it. So I use it for my brow gel. That's what I use. Make sure your brush is very flat, not dense, and press it so the tip will be very tiny this way. So I'll just take a little bit of of the black gel liner on my hand, just a bit. Then I'll press my hand on it this way. Close your eyes, please. Then I'll take their head up this way, not down, up. Then I'll just take a bit of it, just on the tip. of it. Don't use this part. If you use this part, the line will not be defined. Just the tip of it. Then I'll start placing. I don't drag, I'll start placing on it. Then I'll press again. Then I'll do the same thing on the top part of the brows, directly where the hair is. I'm just trying to define the brows further. With this pattern, your brows is already defined, so it will be easier for you to conceal it. That's why I prefer using a black gel liner. But if you don't like it, you can't control it, you can either use your pencil or your brow gel liner, any of which you're comfortable with is still okay. So I'll go ahead and do this other part as well. Please sit up, model. Thank you. Then I'll press the tip of the brush again. Another thing again, please, if you're outlining the brows, don't take the line to the front part. Let it stop here because your brows will look boxed. So let it stop at this point. So I'm checking my brows if they are equal. Your brows, they are sisters, they are not twins. So please, even if it's not going to be the same, but let it be close. Okay. Okay, to further draw my brows, I'm using this David's pencil in 03. David's pencil is not a Nigerian brand, so I don't know, it's not. So why I used to pencil is because I want the mouth as tiny as this, because I don't want to press my hands too much. So let your pencil be this sharpened. So I'll just create light strokes in front of the brows, just to give the natural illusion of your brows. And I'll do the same thing too. Just gently, don't press your hand. Soft, soft. My French people will say petit, petit, small, small. So I'll just do this. Okay, this is the Nigerian brand. This is called Ega and Nesta Brow Gel. This shade is in Ebony. So they have 3 shades: Toffee, Nubia, and Ebony, but I'll be using Ebony. Then I'll still with the same brush I've been using to draw my brows. I'll take a bit of it to fill the brows. Please don't paint it too much, just gradually fill it so your brow doesn't look so dark. But if you don't like your brows dark at all, you can use Nubia or Ebony or Toffee, sorry. So I didn't take the brow gel to this front part, it stopped here. I'll press my brush again and I'll do the same thing. To further define the brows, I'm on this other side now, so I'll be able to check my brows. So I'll go back with the same dark shade I used to outline it even more. So doing it this way, even when you want to conceal, it becomes so easy for you. So I'll do the same thing at the top too. So I'm doing the same thing here as well. Whatever I do on the left, I always repeat it on the other right side as well, so you don't have two different brows. Okay. So after doing this, I'll go ahead and conceal my brows. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and brush out the brows. Please, when you're doing this part, brush it upward. Don't take it down. So do the same. So I'm taking out the excess pencil, everything. It will help you blend your brows even better. Okay, so I'm using the same concealer I used on her face. So I'll take a bit of the 8 to highlight the brows, just a bit of the Kevin O'Con and the Nuban. Then I'm going in with the 12. I'm going in with 12. I'll take a bit of 12. So let's draw the brows, conceal the brow. So I'm going with my Younger Beauty Flat Concealer brush. Then I'll take a bit of the lighter shade. I don't want too much, so I can control it. Okay, sorry. Close your eyes, please. So always tell your clients or your models to close their eyes. So when they are blinking their eyes, your hands will shake. So So I'm blending it downward a bit. So I'll do the same thing. So I'm going with the darker shade. So I'll get a blending brush, take a bit of the concealer, then blend downward. Please, if you're blending, be very careful so you don't blend into your brows. I get a bit of the darker shade again, just a bit. So I'm doing the same thing too. Start with a lighter shade under the brow bone. Then I go in with the Kevlar contour. So the blending brush, I'll go in with the darker shade. For my blending, I usually use the 12 to blend downward. So I'm just using my Fenty contour powder to blend the front part of our face, of of the brows. So I'm blending it inward. So I'm using my powder palette now. I'm using this lighter shade from the Silver Market. It's called the Sky Bar. Then I'm using a flat brush like this. So to set my concealer. So if you don't set your concealer, that place will turn oily after some time and it will easily move. So if there's anything that touches it, it will move. So you need to set it. So I'll do the same thing here. Okay, for my transition color, because I need to blend my brow bone, so I'm using this Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. And please, this palette, I've used the hell out of it. You will know that I love it. So I'm using this brown shade from the palette. I'll take out the excess to blend. So as I'm blending, I'm not blending into the brow bone, just around it. And I'll do the same thing to this one. See? Copy. Okay, I'm using pigments for our eyes, so I'll be using this NYS glitter glue. So it's a flat eyeshadow brush. I'll just press a bit of it. And I'm just applying it on the eyelid. Okay, for my pigment, I'm using this Twinkle pigment. Sorry, the name is not obvious. It's a Nigerian brand, and this shade is called Altar. It has cleaned up. So it's a green color. Sorry. So I'll just take a bit of it and place. And I'll do the same thing here. So I'm just pressing in. Sorry, put your eyes, let me see, mother. Because I'm adding more pigment because I really want the eyes to pop. So please, the pigment again. So I added a bit of glue. The pigment, the same pigment, please. So I'm just sweeping up the excess I have on her face. Please be mindful when you're using these pigments. It can get stuck on the skin. Okay, so for my pigments, I'm using this Beauty Line by Didi liquid liner. It's a Nigerian brand. This liner, why I like it is that the black is actually black and the wand is very tiny. I don't like to work with ones that are very fat. You cannot control it. So I just want to bring out the liner a bit forward on the tear dot area. Sorry, look up a bit. So I'll connect it down. Look up, sorry. The same thing here as well. So I'm removing the excess liners on the wand. Okay, for my mascara, I'm using this Avo Beauty mascara. It's a volumizing one and it's a Nigerian brand. So you can check all these products on Instagram. I think they deliver everywhere. So I'm just trying to brush the brows, the lashes I mean, of natural lashes. Sorry. So after doing this, I'll go with my liner again. Close your eyes, please. To line our eyes. So I'm using the Beauty Line by Didi liner I used earlier. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing here as well. Sorry, please look at the floor. Open your eyes, look at the floor. Let me see. Look at the floor. Let me see. Okay, for my first lashes, I'm using this for 16-in-1 Christmas collection from Wing Beauty. Wing Beauty is a Nigeria brand. So I'll be using this particular one in Noel. So it gives this particular lash gives this wing and cat look. So that's why I prefer it. Sorry, quite hard. This is tough. What's going on? Okay, so I'm taking out this particular one. And this one. I'm just being careful so I don't spoil it. Okay. So I'll do my lash this way first. Then I'll take out the excess. Okay, there's no excess around there. So usually if there's an excess hair around here, you take it out before applying. Okay, for my glue, I'm using this hair bonding glue, and I've already applied it. So I'm just trying to find it so it will go dry a bit before applying it. See? Sorry. So I'll apply my mascara again. Cup, sorry. Look up. Look at the floor. Okay. Don't close your eyes, please. Apply it again. So I'm just pressing it. Look up again, sorry. Look up again, sorry. So I'm fixing the other side too. So her lashes are quite very coily. Open your eyes. I'll just press it. Look up again. Up. So I'm placing it directly on top of her natural lashes. How are you feeling? Okay, for my finishing powder, I'll be using the Fenty 310 and 230. This is 230 is a bit lighter than 310 because I like my under eyes a bit bright, if you notice on my page. So, but if you don't, you can just use 310 alone. So I'm using this flat brush from under eye brush from MK Beauty. So I'll just press in. Please don't sweep out. Press it in. Because the finishing is the most important part of your makeup. It's not just doing the makeup. So the finishing determines the outcome of the makeup. So I'm using the 310 first. And I'm going with the 230. So I'm just pressing it. So I'll do the same thing too, this way. So just press it in. Sorry. Then I'm going with the 230, Fenty 230 on the tear dot area or on the inner corners of the eyes. So on the forehead. To blend out my reverse contour, so I'm using the powder shade I used earlier, the one that matches her skin, to blend out my reverse contour. So please blend it to her neck. Okay, for my finishing spray, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury hairbrush finishing spray. This is my favorite finishing spray. It's so smooth. So I'm just scrubbing the eyes to just melt your makeup into the skin. Yeah, wait. Give me brow tint. Okay, for my locking spray, I'm using the LVH locking spray. It's a Nigerian brand. It's based in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. So this will help my makeup last longer. It will lock in all the makeup into the skin. Close your eyes, please hold your breath. It's quite choky. I like this one because it's not oily. Doesn't give that shiny look. So I'll go with my fan again. Open your eyes. So So I feel my brows is a bit darker on the front part. So I'm using this Younger Beauty brow tint. So I want to fade out the brows a bit to make it brighter a bit. So just at the front part of it, I'll just brush it. So I'll get a clean mascara wand, brush out the excess. So you don't need too much before your brows will get faded away. So just get a little of it, then use your mascara wand to brush it. See how it's looking now. Okay, I'm using this Blossom Highway palette. It's a 20 color lip palette. They're based in Nigeria. They're a Nigerian brand. So, and the flat brush I use for my brows. So I'll be going in with this brown. The reason why I like this shade of brown is because most brown turn purple when you're done, and I don't want my lips looking purple. That's why I prefer using this palette. So I'll go with the brown first to outline the outer part of the lips. So I'll take a bit of it again. So now blend inward. So I'll go with my blending brush. Then I'm using this coffee brown in the same palette and my blending brush from MK Beauty to blend around. I'm not blending on top of the brown I used before. So I'm just blending around it. Okay, the next step, I'm using this Nuban Beauty lipstick in Mock. It's a matte lipstick. It's a Nigerian brand as well. So it's a soft matte lipstick. So I'll put a bit of it there. Smell. Then I'll blend it into the brown I did earlier. Please don't blend forward. Just blend downward. So the last step of this lip, I'm using my Ega Nestle lipstick, matte lipstick in Peekaboo. So I'll just put this. So I get another blending brush, small, and I blend downward as well. So up your lips a bit. Open up. Up your lips a bit. Up your lips. Okay, for my cheek glaze, I'm using this Blossom Makeup lip gloss. It's quite thick, so I rather put it on the cheek than use it on my lips. But it's actually nice for the lips too. It's not bad. It's from Blossom Nigeria. It's a Nigerian brand. This one is in peach. So I've already applied a little on my hands. I'll take a beauty blender. Use the part that is quite clean. Then I'll just blend it on my hand first. On the forehead. Please, if you're doing this, gentle tap. If not, it will lift your makeup up. So just blend gently. This way as well. Okay, for highlighting the face, I'm using my Fenty highlighter in Coconut Candy. This is Coconut Candy. It has this gold undertone and rose red. It's like pink, peachy a bit. So I'll be mixing both of them. On the bridge of our nose. Stand this way. Please, if you apply your highlighter, please put it on the highest point of the face, which is close to the eye here. Don't take it down. This way. So I'll do the same thing this way. So I'm going in with my So Pro highlighter. This is in Jara. Sorry, I've used it for a long time, so it has cleaned up. So this is a Nigerian brand, So Pro. The loose highlighter comes. So I'll just dust a little for more shine. If you don't want, your client doesn't like too much of highlighter, you can skip it and just use just the Fenty one or any other one you have. So the same place I placed the Fenty, I'm just going over it again. Turn this way again, please. So I want to further highlight under the eyes, just to make it pop a bit. So this is quite optional. So most clients doesn't want it, so I just skip it for most clients. So I'm using the shade in 230. Okay, this part I want to do is quite optional, like I always say, because me, I'm a queen of drama, so I don't like my eyes bathed. I always like something that will make it at least a bit popping and all. So I'm using this graphic liner from Visbook. It's a Nigerian brand. So you just add a little bit of water, whatever spray. This is my rose water. I've not been using it, so I just used it for this purpose. I'll just spray a bit of it, not too much. Let me give you the trick. When you do this and you feel it's too much, get wipes, take out the excess water from it so it doesn't look watery. You just need it a bit wet so you can, it will be easy for you to apply. Then get anytime there's an applicator you can use for this, the disposable one, any applicator, as long as the tip is tiny as this, then you just apply. So I'm using this light orange. As well. Look up, sorry. Okay, finally I'm using my mascara, the Avo Beauty mascara. Look up, sorry. So I have to hold her hair so she doesn't shake. So this mascara is very volumizing. Look up, sorry. Okay, finally, I want to do her lips. So the reason why I didn't do the lips before is because I wanted to finish the whole hair and everything before I put up the lipstick, the lip gloss, I mean. So I'm using this Drooper Brown lip gloss from Brownie. Drooper is a Nigerian brand, and I'm using the Fenty lip gloss in Sweet Mouth and Edgar Nesta lip gloss in Sweet Tooth. So these are the 3 lip glosses I'll be using. So I'm starting with the brown one first. So I'll outline it the same way I did when I was applying the lipstick. So I'll start with the brown. So I'm doing the circle down. So the next thing I'm doing, I'm going with my Egg and Nesta Lip Gloss. So this shade is a bit itchy. And in between the brown and the nude, the Egg and Nesta nude, I'm using my Fenty lip gloss. Just now. Blend everything together. So if you're doing this, try not to cover the brown because it's like an ombre nude, so you need the brown to show. Yeah. Okay, so this is our final look for this. So if you have questions, you can ask and go further. Okay. The last step. Thank you. Okay. Alright, so this is our final look now. If you have any question on this look, please kindly go ahead and ask now before we move to the next class. Thank you.